Football Dad's Army. So what a good result that was yesterday. Great performance. I found it very dominant. A very dominant performance. You know, similar to the first half against Leicester. You know, we was in control really. Apart from a couple, one or two, just minor little lapses. There was a concentration. I think Neves hit the post on the bar during that game with a lucky little flick. But apart from that, we was in control of that game. We bossed the game. Arsenal, you know, we go 2-0 up in that first half. We didn't even get out of second gear. It was just like a stroll in the park for me. And, you know, after watching that game and after watching the Leicester game and, you know, thinking a question was asked of me, and I was thinking about it. The question of the day, the question I was asked was, do Arsenal miss Odegaard? I actually see Robbie from AFTV sort of have a similar question put to him, or I don't know, I didn't hear the question asked, but I sort of heard him say, I sort of caught a little bit of it, and he sort of said, are we missing Odegaard? You know, how strong is this team now? Mourinho's come back as well. Mourinho come on for the last 15 minutes, a little cameo for him. So we know he's getting his way back to fitness as well. Hopefully Odegaard does come back soon. But at the moment, we're not really missing him. We're doing all right without him. Trossard is you know, he's got his chance now. He's grabbing it with both hands. And he is absolutely coming into his own. What a cross that was for Evert's header for the first goal. Unbelievable cross from Trossard. You don't often see crosses like that from Odegaard. Odegaard's more play it on the floor, isn't he? He plays them little intricate little through balls on the floor. You don't often see him cross a ball like that. And you know what? They're different players, but played a similar position. But there's options now. We have got options. And when Odegaard comes back, we are going to be a force to be reckoned with. We've got a fantastic chance of winning this league. I really believe in it. Especially since now, Man City, arguably Man City's best midfielder, Rodri, is now out for the season. So that's given us even a better chance. And De Bruyne's a bit injury prone in the last few years as well. Don't forget he was out for about, I think it was 2 months, 2.5 months or so. He was out for last season. So it only takes De Bruyne to get an injury as well. And I know they've got a great team, City, but they're the two of their best players. Gundogan's come back. He looks good. He scored last night. But, you know, the squad's getting a little bit thinner. The squad's getting a little bit thinner, and I fancy our chances. McManus in the chat. Big up McManus Gaming. Go and check his channel out if you ain't already. I see that clip also with Robbie. Trossard's doing well in that position. But when Odegaard comes back, we have options. That's a good thing. It's fantastic. Fantastic, McManus. I mean, we'll talk about this on the podcast tomorrow as well, because we're going to talk about the Leicester game, also the PSG game and everything else. But just I had to do this reaction. I done a prediction last night. So I said I will do a reaction tonight, and I'm over the moon with it. And we're still getting... Listen, where's my book? Because I did make some notes. If you're still there, McMahon, I did make some notes, right? And I looked and I see that arsehole, bloody Jamie O'Hara, still not giving us our flowers. You know what? He is so uptight and he's got an inbuilt hatred for Arsenal. As a pundit, as a neutral, he still can't give Arsenal their flowers. There was a caller phoned up TalkSport. It was Jason Cundy and Jamie O'Hara on that. You know the show they do. They're so annoying, the pair of them. But he's even worse, Jamie O'Hara. He still won't give. He still won't give Arsenal their flowers when we were saying about us like absolutely bossing and dominating PSG. He said, yeah, but, you know, they're what did he say? They're a bang average PSG team. They haven't got the players no more. They haven't got the Neymar, the Messi, the Mbappe. There's shit. And then someone said that but normally 9 times out of 10 they'll win their league. He goes, yeah, it's only a farmers' league. He just will not give Arsenal any credit whatsoever. And this is a guy that wore a Man City shirt, praying for Tottenham to get beat by Man City towards the end of last season. How can you take a guy like that seriously? You can't take him seriously. See, he's just so annoying. And I see all the other haters on there. Or I see some reaction shows, and he had like Rents and Saeed. They don't bother me, man. They don't bother me because they're entitled to hate. Not so much hate, but they're entitled to be against us winning because they're a rival team and their team's shit at the minute. Man United, they're shit. They're both Man United supporters, and that don't bother me. Take that with a pinch of salt. It's all banter. It's all, But when you get it from a pundit who's getting paid to do his job and to be a neutral, it really, really gets my back up. It really does for some reason. But I thought it was a fantastic performance from Arsenal. John Collins, big up John Collins in the chat. That's the problem. He's not neutral. He is not neutral. He don't act like a neutral fan. A neutral pundit. He doesn't. He's got an agenda. Cundy's the same. Jason Cundy's just the same. He's just as bad. Chelsea fan. But, well, mind you, I wouldn't say he's just as bad. O'Hara has just got this. He's still got the needle that he didn't cut the mustard at Arsenal. He was in the youth setup at Arsenal. He didn't cut the mustard. We released him. We let him go. We said, you're not good enough. And that's rolled him to this day. I mean, what has he ever done? Let's have it right. He was a bang average player. Bang average player himself. So, he's just bitter. He's a bitter man. He's a bitter man. So what did you think of the performance last night? What has he won? I don't know what he's won. I'm not sure if he was in the team that won the League Cup. I'm not sure if he was there when George Graham managed them when they won that League Cup back in the 90s. But he may have been. I'm not 100% sure on that one. But still, he was shit, mate. He was proper shit. I mean, I can't play football to save my life, but I was probably a better footballer than him. Serious. He was just lucky to get his career in football. But I wouldn't mind if I don't. I've got nothing against Tottenham fans per se, but the ones that are, really gets you back up is that they just won't admit that they can't bring themselves to appreciating the game, appreciating that Arsenal are a good football team again. Now, we went through the mill. We went through all the shit. We was crap for years and years and years. Tottenham even finished higher than us in the league for about 3 years in a row. Don't forget, we finished above them 20 years in a row before that. Do you know what I mean? This is what's so bitter about them. They're so bitter. I'm not saying the whole fan base. I'm saying, a good high percentage of them are. And when it's brought to you like that, when you can actually see, the whole world can see that O'Hara feels about Arsenal just by his comments, just by what he says. It's just, he's supposed to be impartial and neutral to be a pundit. No chance. No chance. And you cannot take a man like that seriously when he's, wearing a Man City shirt, cheering for Man City when they scored against his own club. It's filth, mate. It's filth. Anyway, so, are we missing Martin Odegaard? You know what? Did I answer the question already? Because I'm not sure. I went on the rant about Jamie O'Hara. I can't remember if I answered the question. Are we missing him? He's our captain. Saka's been stepping up in the last couple of games. I've noticed wearing the armband. Is Saka the right choice to take the armband? Not in my... No, it should be Declan Rice. It should be Declan Rice or one of the centre-halves, Saliba or Gabriel. Should be one of them. I don't believe that Saka should be the captain. You know, but you know, what do I know? I'm only a fan. I'm not a coach. I don't see him every day on the training pitch. So you know, who am I to say? But that, preferably, if it was me, just by watching the football and just by you know seeing the way they play, the way the game's going, and Declan Rice for me would be the captain while Odegaard's out. Odegaard wouldn't even be a captain in the first place if it was up to me. So it would be Declan Rice. It would definitely, 100%. Then the vice captain would be Saliba or Gabriel. That's just my opinion. That's just how I feel. I know he's a leader because you hear even when he was at West Ham, they talk about his leadership qualities in the past. They talk about his leadership qualities at Arsenal. Even in the England setup, they talk about his leadership qualities there as well. So, you know, he would be the captain for me. But back to the Odegaard thing. Well, we're not actually missing. We're missing another option because when Odegaard was playing, Trossard was the other option. That's what we're missing, the other option. But you know, everyone thought, oh, we're all fucked. Our players are injured. You know, no Odegaard. We're we're in trouble. Our new player Mourinho just come back to make a little cameo last night. You know, he got injured before the before the season started in training. You know, he's missed 6 games, 7 games or something with the Atalanta game. Oh, and the League Cup game, he's missed that as well, obviously. So, you know, he's missed about 8 games, let's say. And he come on for a little cameo last night. Didn't do nothing outrageously bad or outrageously good, really. Just like a little cameo, just getting him some minutes, just getting him ready. I mean, we've got Southampton on Saturday. Will he play in that game? Hopefully he'll get another little half hour or maybe something like that, and we can see what he's about a bit more there. I mean, Ramsdale's going to be in goal, our ex-goalkeeper. How many are we going to put past him? Do you reckon we're going to slaughter them? Do you reckon we're going to put them to the sword? Or do you reckon it's going to be just another, like, get a couple of goals and just have a little stroll in the park? Take your time, don't burn yourself out. Like we've done in the last 2 seasons, you know. We're playing a different way now. It's a different... It feels like it's a completely different team, if you understand what I mean. We're not playing the 4-3-3 as much anymore. It's more of a double pivot with Rice and Partey, 4-2-3-1. I think it's working tremendously well, and we're getting a little bit of flack for it. A little bit of, you know, people are getting the hump with us, but we're winning games. We're unbeaten still. It's like a different animal. The mentality is different. It's changed. We're not going all gung-ho. We're not going 100 miles an hour to try and score as many goals as we possibly can. We're winning games. We're managing the games. We're getting the goals, getting a couple of goals, and then just like bossing it, doing our thing. Do you know what I mean? I think it's sort of a different way of thinking, a different philosophy. We've learnt from our mistakes. I mean, I thought it was going to come back to haunt us when Leicester come back to 2-2. But then we started pushing, and we got the 2 goals in injury time. So, you know, it's a different kettle of fish now. And I honestly believe that we're going to have a great chance of winning the title this year. We've been made favourites by the bookies, and the bookies ain't off them wrong either. Last night we got made favourites. I see it come up on the Sky Sports News thing. And Arsenal were favourites, only minutely, half a point or something ahead of Man City. Liverpool are top at the moment, but you know we're only a point. They're only a point in front of us, and Man City are only in second because of goal difference. John Collins is saying he shouldn't be a pundit. Yeah, I agree. I totally agree. I see it on YouTube, you know, because on YouTube as well. The YouTube for TalkSport YouTube channel, you see them sitting in the studio, and you can see them when their reactions. You know, if you phone them up, you can't see their reactions when they're answering the questions they've given on the radio. You can see the way they react, their faces, and they're piss takers, mate, proper piss takers. It will just be another bonus when Odegaard comes back. It will be. It's another option, another string to the bow. And it's going to be, listen, we've got a great team this year. We have. The only thing we're lacking, as what we're all saying, is that finisher, that number 9. If we had that, if we had signed us, if we had Victor Osman, people saying about Ivan Toney, a lot of people saying Ivan Toney. I'm not his biggest fan, but even if we would have signed Ivan Toney, what a difference that might have made. That could have been the final string to the bow. That could have been the cherry on the cake. Having a striker like that, having a finisher. We might have even beat City that day. We might have beat Brighton, even though we went down to 10 men in both them games for most of the second half, or the whole second half for the City game, and most of the second half for the Brighton game. If with an out-and-out striker number 9, we might have even won them games instead of drawing them and been, top of the table, looking over our shoulders, going, catch us if you can, sort of thing. Against Leicester, we created loads of chances, just needed that striker, exactly. Couldn't finish our dinner. I mean, we should have won that game 6-0, something like that. It was an unbelievable game, and, I was just happy with the result. I'm happy we got the 3 points. I'm over the moon with that. I'm also over the moon with the PSG result. I'm just waiting for the better Arsenal do, the more hate we get. It's crazy to me. It's crazy. I can't make any sense of it. We've been shit for years. We haven't. Do you know what? We ain't even won anything. And we're still getting hate. Like, Man City don't get a lot of hate, and they've won everything for years. They've won the leagues, they've won cups, they've won Champions League. I can't understand it. I don't get it. I really don't get it. Is that because they think they're getting out of their pram, they think they're better than what they are? That jealousy thing, that streak of jealousy. That's what it is. I love those clean sheets. Come on, man. You ain't gonna win a Premier League title without a great defence. Can't just go, we're gonna score more goals than you and win a league. Because you're gonna get undone. You're gonna get undone. And I can't wait for February. I can't wait for the return game against City. I hope we draw them in the cup before that. I hope we say we get through the next round of the League Cup. I hope we get them in the round after in the quarter final or whatever it is after the next round. I'd love to get them. I want to play them before then. I can't wait to play City again. I can't wait to play Man City again, to shut them fans up, man. Or they might even shut the Arsenal fans up from keep on saying we're on par with you now. We're getting there. So I mean, we're catching you up. We're going to overtake you. You know what I mean? There's a lot of Arsenal fans saying that, but there's also a lot of Arsenal fans keeping the lid on it, keeping a low profile about it. And there's Arsenal fans that still think it ain't good enough. We conceded them 2 goals against Leicester. That should never have happened. Listen, one of them was the first equaliser. The first goal was quite lucky, right? But every team gets a bit of luck. You can't help that. The second goal was a world-class finish. World-class, mate. From the fullback. I said it before, it was like Roberto Carlos reborn. That goal from, what was his name? Is it James Justin, his name? The fullback, I think it is. But, there's no one could have stopped. 2 goalkeepers couldn't have stopped that. Do you know what I mean? But then, all right, we conceded them 2 goals. We went back. You do think back to the slip-ups from last season. You think, it's history repeating itself. We pushed on and we still got another 2 goals. So, stop. Even the Arsenal fans that hate their own club, stop it. Because they hate the Cronkies and they hate Arteta. Stop it. Just get behind them, man. Get behind them. That's what I say. AFC Always, big up AFC Always in the chat. Yes. Hope you lot are going to be on tomorrow's podcast as well, 7:30 tomorrow night. We're going to have Anthony Herbert and we're going to have McManus in on the panel. So we're going to delve a bit more deeper into this, where you won't listen to me on my own being bored and all that shit. So, there'll be other people there. Hopefully you're going to join us tomorrow. AFC always is saying, Timber, Rice, Party, Everts were very good. Timber went off, didn't he? I hope he ain't injured. I mean, I haven't seen anything concrete yet, but I hope he ain't injured. He did go off. He went off for Kiwior, and Calafiori, they switched. He went to right back, and Kiwior went into left back. Second goal was a great goal from Leicester. Are you talking the Leicester goal, or are you talking the Arsenal goal from yesterday? That's another thing Jamie O'Hara said. He didn't mean to do the free kick that Saka took. When it went right through, and everyone tried to get on the end of it. No one else touched it. It looked like Thomas Partey might have got a toe on it, but he didn't. It went straight through and straight in. And there was another thing he said about that. He said, "Oh no, it was a poor cross, and it went in." Oh, fuck's sake. AFC always. What I don't like that when we are comfortable. Why do we sit back and let teams come on to us? We need to be more ruthless. I understand that to a certain extent, AFC always. I do get what you're saying. But listen, you got to conserve yourself as well. It's a long season. And you've got to be worried about burnout. We've burnt out 2 seasons running, finishing runners-up. And a lot of the players look leggy and jaded towards the end of the season. It's about conserving yourself as well. Man City do it all the time. Man City do it all the time. No Man City fan moans at them, their own club, for getting a couple of goals in front and then just controlling the game. Just taking your time, not getting too worried. They weren't going to score. PSG might have got a lucky goal with what was his name? Is it Joe Neves? It could have been, but there's luck involved in a lot of games as well. But we controlled that game, and we didn't need to. We didn't get out of second gear because we didn't need to. AFC always. We didn't need to. Martinelli looked shattered last night. He looked fucked. You got exactly that. This is what I'm trying to say. You can't play every 3 days to that tempo. You can't do it and have the same standards. Play at the same standard and be the same team. If you conserve yourself, you play, you get a couple of goals, and then you just manage the team, manage the game. A game management. You just, you control it, you boss it, you body the other players, and if they want to come on to us, let them come on. They're not getting through us, mate. They're not getting through us. The new setup, the 4-2-3-1, they can't get through us. When we let them have the ball, we drop back to a 4-4, 4-4-2, and they can't get through us, mate. They can't get through us. Martinelli is well off his best. He's played well in the last couple of games. In all fairness, John, the start of the season, the game against Man City, I thought he was fantastic. I really did. I thought that was the first game we played well, and we started seeing how good he can be. He was starting to get back into the rhythm. He must have had some sort of art to art with Arteta or the coaches or whatever, because he started to look like he was hungry again. He really did. We have got the best partnership in Saliba and Gabriel in the Premier League and Europe. We certainly have, boss. We certainly have. AFC always. We have, definitely, 100%. 100%. With Raya behind him in goal as well. Raya's very, very quickly going to become one of the best keepers in the world as well. Look how good. Look, his level's better than last season. His level's better than Aaron Ramsdale. We're going to see how good Aaron Ramsdale is at Southampton ourselves with our own eyes when we entertain them, and we play Southampton on Saturday. And I fancy we're gonna do them 3-0. I really do. I can't see them scoring. I think we'll probably get 2 goals again in the first half, go in half time 2-0 up, and then maybe get one near the end of the game. Maybe get one in the 80th minute, 75th, 80th minute, get another goal, make it 3-0. That's what I'm predicting for the Southampton game on Saturday. In front of goal, we are lacking. We are lacking in front of goal because we ain't got that number 9. We ain't got that finisher. It's going to be more telling in against the big six, the top 6 teams, or the other top 5 against the Chelseas, the Liverpools, Man City again when we get them. You know, but maybe even Tottenham. You know, we have beaten them already, but it's always a tough game against them. Chelsea are looking pretty good at the moment. Liverpool are top of the league. They're on his slots. Yeah, he ain't doing too bad of a job there. Ten Hag, I think he's going to be gone before Christmas. I mean, I don't. What's happening with Bruno Fernandes getting the red card rescinded so he can play? I think they've got Villa, Man United in their is it Villa in their next game? They've got a tough game. I know that. So what's going to happen to them? They're going to lose another game. They're going to get beat again. What's going to happen with Ten Hag? I think he's going to be sacked soon. I don't think he's going to last till Christmas. AFC always. I'm expecting to beat Southampton 4 or 5-0. We should do. We really should do. But, I mean, as long as we win the game, I don't care if we beat them 1-0 or 2-0. AFC always. I really don't. I think that would be nice to see that 4 or 5. We could go for it. Depends, doesn't it? It depends on how the game pans out. It just depends. I think it depends on moments and situations that's going on in the game at the time. I mean, if we're like getting through them easy, then yeah, why not smash 4, 5, 6 goals against them? But if it's going to be, you know, we're winning the game and it's going to be, we're running our socks off. We've got to take a little breather, let them have the ball for a little while. When if they can't get anywhere near us, might as well let them have the ball. Go and have the ball, then you ain't going to get through us anyway. You know, it depends on how the players' fitness, how they feel, how the manager feels the game's going. You know, you don't want to overexert yourself too much. There's a lot of football to play. There's 3 games a week. You know, I do hope for for the eye candy side of things. We do get like loads of goals, 4, 5, 6 goals against them. But I'm not bothered if we don't, as long as we win the game. All I care about is the 3 points. That's all I care about at the minute. Do you think Timber will take the right spot from Ben White? Right back spot from Ben White? It's looking like it. It's looking like it, McManus. I'm not sure if Ben White's injured or because he was dropped. What game was he dropped for? What was it? I can't remember. Was it the Leicester game that he was first dropped for, Ben White? I can't remember. Or was it? I can't remember what the game was when I was a bit surprised about them dropping Ben White because he's been an ever present. He must have a little knock, and Timber's played well, but I think he got a little knock last night himself. So Ben White will be coming back on Saturday. If Timber's got a knock and Ben White hasn't, he's not injured and he's just been dropped. Because he weren't on the bench. I don't think he was on the bench against PSG. So I think he might be injured as it happens. So, but potentially, I think Timber will take that place. I think he will, yeah. He's a better player anyway. I know Ben White's been ever present. He's been brilliant for us. But, you've got to compete. And having Timber and Ben White competing for that position could only be healthy for the team. The player might get the hump a little bit if he's dropped or whatever. But, you've got to take that on the chin, bruv. You've got to fight for your place. And that's what makes a team good and solid, is when you've got players in every position fighting for them positions, and that's what makes good. That's why Man City is so great, because they've got players for every position, 2 players at least for every position. It's brilliant. The Menace game in Timber looks like a beast at right back. He looked quality last night. He did. He's played well there. He has played well there, and it's very strong, very, very strong. Good on the ball. Bit skillful, could do little dummies, drop the shoulder. He is good. He's very good. He's better than Ben White. I don't want to slag Ben White off at all because I still think he's a good player as well. But I think Timber's better. I think he is better, and he can play. See, you could bring them two together, Timber and Calafiore, and play them as another centre back partnership. You know, that's the versatility. That's why he's bought players like that because they're versatile. But I always say to myself, you know, being a jack of all trades means you're not a master of one. So you could be good at everything, but not a master of the one, if you know what I mean. You got. I prefer players to be a master centre back, a master full back, a master number 6, master in that position, rather than being a jack of all trades. I could play up front or defence, like Dion Dublin. You know, he's a striker and a centre half. If you get what I mean. Gives you choice as well. Exactly that, John. Gives you choice, man. Gives you a choice. It is nice to have a choice. It's good to have a choice. Good to have an headache. A managerial headache like, you know, oh, who do I pick for this game? They've both done well in training. Fucking, what an headache to have. What an headache to have, though. Pep's had it for years. Pep's had that for years, and it's about time we had that and all, as a club. It's about time we had that. Is Arteta the right manager to have them options? Can he do it? Can he do it? This is the jury's still out with I'd say 90% of the fan base. The jury is still out. Now he's got all the tools. I think in January, I've heard Gabriel Jesus may be leaving in January. There's been a £40 million price tag put on his head. He may be leaving. But he can't leave without us replacing him. We need to replace him. So what would we do? Who will we go and get? I've heard Benjamin Sesko, who we went for in the beginning of the summer and decided to stay at the club. I can't remember the club he plays for now, but, you know, because I've never heard of him before. Before it was the interest. Apparently, there's an option there again. I can't see it. I don't know. I hope not. I'm raving at the minute about Victor Gyökeres. Sporting Lisbon, he is absolutely smashing it. But will he be able to do it if he comes back to England? He had a few seasons in England, didn't he? With Coventry, Swansea. There's another club, I can't think the name of it. I mean, I don't remember seeing him play, but you know, he wasn't as prolific in England as what he is out in Portugal. Is it the weather? Is it the standard of football? Who knows? But he's absolutely smashing it. He's absolutely smashing it out there again, and he's scoring for fun, assisting, scoring, everything. If he could bring that sort of game to the Premier League, to Arsenal, if he could bring that form, then there'd be no stopping us. It's like Haaland. It's like bringing another Haaland. That sort of form he's got. But it's in Portugal. Could he do it here? Who knows? The weather's a factor, mate. The weather's a factor for a lot of players that have played out on the continent in the nice Mediterranean sun, all nice and warm all year round. Come here freezing cold. Monday night football, pissing down the rain, freezing cold at the Emirates, or going up north to Old Trafford, wherever it is. Could they stomach it? Could they have it? You know, who knows? Who knows? AFC always. Jesus is finished. Those knee injuries have ruined him. Yeah, he ain't. That's why City let him go. They knew what they was doing. We jumped on it. I know he started all right, but he's never really cut the mustard, is he? He's never really done it. I feel bad because I do like the player, but he's never really cut the mustard. You've got to be a bit ruthless. Arteta, we know he can be ruthless. He's got to put his hands up and say, I made a mistake signing Jesus, like he has done with a few other players, like the Congas and the Tavares, and there's a few. I can't rattle them all off, but there's been a few players that he's thought, I've dropped a bollock here. I've signed the wrong player. He needs to win something this season, John. Yeah. Listen, I'll be happy with being runners up in the Premier League if we won an FA Cup or a Champions League. Not over the moon happy, but I'd say, all right, we'll go again. We've got to win something. We need to put something in that cabinet. We've got to win the League Cup. Even the League Cup, I know it's not as prestigious as the FA Cup or obviously the Champions League or the FA Cup. FA Cup for me is the second trophy. The Premier League first, FA Cup, then the Champions League, then the League Cup. But just to put something in the cabinet would be nice. I mean, the FA Cup saved Ten Hag's job last season, in my opinion. If he never won the FA Cup last season against City, they lost it in the season in the final before that as well. Remember when City won the treble? If he didn't win that FA Cup, but they did win the League Cup as well, Man United before that. So they got the two finals in their Ten Hag's first season. And they won one, lost one. Last season they won the FA Cup, so they've done better than Arsenal, really. Won more trophies, but they're thinking about their league position. They're thinking about their form this season, and they just got fucking whipped by Spurs at Old Trafford. That must be a gut-sinking feeling. That must be a terrible, terrible. If Tottenham beat Arsenal 3-0 at the Emirates, I'm sick as a parrot. So I can understand how the fans are feeling about him. I can understand. It's a shame, but that's true, AFC. Yeah, Jesus' knee injuries, yeah. AFC, that was Partey's best performance of the season last night. Played well. He didn't get his toe on that cross from Saka. Saka scored that goal. Although a lot of people were thinking he got a toe on it. At that time, I'm saying. But he didn't, and Saka scored that goal. According to Jamie O'Hara, it was a shit cross. But did he mean it? I think he meant it. Partey is really good if he can stay fit. He's doing well with Declan Rice in that double pivot in that midfield. He's doing well there. Yeah, they are. They're starting as a 4-2-3-1. They're starting that formation. He's moved away from that's a more containing formation. It's a more robust, solid back, but the spine's there. With the 4-3-3, it's a little bit more loose. It's a little bit more, pass and move quick. This is more build from the back formation, which it should be build from the back, but be resolute and solid with a turnover as well. The counter, can't counter. You can't get through that. That square at the back with Saliba, Gabriel, Partey and Rice. That square, that four there. You can't penetrate it, mate. It's fucking rock solid. It is fucking rock solid. Anyway, I've been rabbiting on for nearly 40 minutes. Wow, that's gone quick. Nearly 40 minutes. I'm going to do the podcast tomorrow. We're going to have Anthony here, but AFC is always there. I know you're going to be there. John, if you can make it, come in there, man. 7:30 tomorrow night. It's called The Final Score. Renamed the podcast from the Thursday night Q&A. No one was asking questions. I was supposed to be taking questions from the viewers, but no one was asking questions anyway. So we've changed the name. We've scrapped the Q&A. It's going to be The Final Score, where we talk about match predictions from last week, the results of that, the match predictions from this week's, both games, the Leicester game and the PSG game. We're going to get more in depth and talk about them on the panel. All you in the chat, put your questions in there, put your opinions in there. Stick a like on the video, guys. If you're still in the chat, stick a like on it. Subscribe to the channel if you ain't already for more content. Click the bell as well for notifications. And I'll see you all tomorrow. Laters.